Welcome back to Viking Football with Bruce Barnum. Today is Election Day, and I'm going to elect Coach Barnum as the president of Viking Football after that big win against UC Davis on Saturday, 51-29. The Vikings having a good weekend in Central California. They're going to get another chance to play in Central California. Sac State this Saturday, 6 p.m. down at Hornet Stadium. And, Coach, before we talk about Sacramento State, let's relive a little bit of the fun the Vikings had on Saturday. Really got things going offensively, but I'm going to start with the defense because the defense came out, first series of the game, shut down Davis, 3-and-out, and I think that set the tone.
It did. It was fun to see all three phases, Mike, but the defense started it, did a nice job. They were a step ahead all day, and we had some pass rush. We had a couple sacks, and that was fun to see. Tyler Foreman had his first interception. And we were close to a couple others, but fun to see our defense play that way.
And the Vikings, of course, having a big offensive day, biggest day of the season, 602 yards, 51 points, and kind of the eyebrow raiser was the passing game. Portland State throws for 425 yards. That's the most in 8 seasons here at Portland State. And the Vikings still had a 2-to-1 run-pass ratio. So what that means is those completions went for big gains, and I know that was what you said, one thing that was kind of missing, the big play.
It was, Mike, and we had a lot that game, and it was fun to watch. Had some guys making plays, some that might have been drops, and having people back. We had some people back that we hadn't had catching the ball in a while. So, again, everything just seemed to click. It was a great day for college football down there, and it was fun to watch this crew.
And maybe the best passing day you've seen Alex Caressa have?
It was. Good to see that from him. You know, and the big plays along with it. Off our play action, a lot of them. We went and threw some gadgets in. They gave us some looks that we liked our gadget game and took advantage of those. So it was fun because, yes, the ball was in the air. Yes, we're still running it. And to see the group, after all the work they put in this year, running off that field with smiles on their faces.
And probably one thing maybe people don't know is with all the injuries the Vikings have had this year, there have been quite a few, probably as many to the wide receiver group as any position on the team. So really it's been a little bit of a makeshift situation, but you've incorporated the tight ends, doing a good job. Paris Penn coming out of the backfield. Talk about kind of the challenge of getting that receiving core working.
Yeah, well, it started with Darnell Adams before the season even started. I think first practice, Mike. But that position of all of them was the most depleted this season. So to see those catches and see that come along, and some of our youth, some of the new faces show up and catch some balls, and it's good for the future of Viking football.
Okay, now we'll talk for a moment about Sacramento State. The Hornets, surprise, are coming off a bye week. That's the 5th opponent in 7 weeks that's had a bye prior to playing the Vikings. But Sacramento State, 1-8 on the season, not having a great year. They did get a victory over Montana State. What do you see from the Hornets that concern you?
I love their defense. They have 2 defensive ends, Mike, that might be the best we've seen this season, barring the FBS opponents. So I like that look. And they're playing tight games. It's not like it's a bunch to a little playing them. So it's going to be a challenge. We're on the road again. So we need to go down there. And I think you said it in a previous deal. We have to have a little repeat, a little Groundhog Day of what happened last week.
Okay, one thing you notice when you look at the stats, they've given up quite a bit in the run game defensively. But I'm going to presume, as you say every week, we're going to run the offense we run no matter what.
We are. Now it's kind of compartmentalized. If you run this defense, we're running this group of plays. If you're going to do this against us, boom, we kind of click to this category. So that's how we kind of watch and just try to stay ahead of the defense offensively. But, yes, we're going to run the ball somehow. That's our MO here, Mike, and we're not going to change.
Okay, you alluded to it already. Another bus trip to Central California. That means a lot of movies. Now, before we talk about movies, is it true? I heard a rumor that one of the buses had to pull over because the DVD player wasn't working, and you had to get a new bus. Is that true? Last week?
We had to change that. We were only 5 minutes out of Dodge, Mike. One of the guys turned the DVDs on because here comes Animal House. We're having a flashback to the 80s, and nothing worked. So they didn't complain. But we made an executive decision and said, since we are on this thing for 3 or 4 days, we'll get them some TVs.
This is a man who loves his movies, and I'm told that you made a unilateral decision there to pull that bus over and get a new DVD player. All right, so let's talk movies. And I'm going to tell you right now what you're watching right out of the gate. It's Groundhog Day, right?
That'd be good. Bill, it's always good to have some Bill Murray, but I don't know. I heard Waterboy. I heard some Sandler being thrown in there, but we try to start out with comedies because that's when they're awake, Mike. And when it gets dark on the drive home, that's kind of you jump to your horror sci-fi. We've kind of got it down now what we're doing, and you have to stay tuned. Next week we'll talk. Something coming into play right now. We have our last bit of our Americana tour. I'm not going to say anything about it yet, but give these guys one more dose of getting out of their fiefdom here at Portland State.
Portland State football team over 4,000 miles on the bus this year, and it will be like Groundhog Day this week. The Vikings, same bus trip, same hotel, same routine, hopefully the same result when they play the Sacramento State Hornets. Again, that is Saturday at 6 p.m. You can hear the game on Rip City Radio. Get all the information at GoVikes.com.